A British Tyrannosaur? Is that it's Wednesday, my dudes? Is that a uh, Red Dwarf reference? Hey, Hardcore Jed as well. Welcome to today's stream. So I figured I would paint. I wanted to paint something today rather than play a game, and I've got a bit of time. So let's have a look what we could do here. So I was thinking of doing a drawing of like a log. So I just do really basic. Oh, it's a meme, is it? Okay. I was thinking of doing like kind of an interesting piece of like paleo art, where like you have a log like this. Right, it's going to be very basic at the moment, and then I want to draw like some compies running along the top here, and then like you just see the side of a huge dinosaur in the background. So that's the idea. A log like a wood log or a shit log? uh, Both. Probably look like shit, if I'm honest. Yeah, so I thought it'd be just something a bit, calmer and nicer to do. Get the nice shit colour. So this is going to be like really a quick paint. I'm only going to be able to stream for like a couple of hours, if that really. So I've got to go babysit my nephews, and it's my day off today, and going to my sister's to see my sister and her kids, and they're going out tonight, so we're babysitting. And I was thinking of showing my 4-year-old nephew Godzilla 1998 if he's still awake by the time I get there, because sometimes he has a really early night. But if he's awake, then I'll be like, hey, do you want to watch this and see if he likes Godzilla 1998? And then mainly so I can get a viewpoint from someone of that age, because I'm currently working on a video about Godzilla 1998, just a short video, but like a review of it for the Terrordome. Stay here and entertain me. There's British Tyrannosaur. Oh man, like I will. I've got a couple of days next week where I should be free to like stay up for a good portion of the night doing live streams, which is what I plan on doing. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Loved the 1998 film as a kid, so he probably will. Yeah, I mean he's massively into dinosaurs, and like I want to show him like some of the old Godzillas, like the old Toho ones. Not even like the old ones actually, the ones from like 1994 where there are dinosaurs in the film, not just Godzilla. There's the Godzillasaurus. And like this robot pteranodon that they fly around on. I want to show him some of that, but they're on region 1. I mean, I could take my DVD player that plays them. So, well, maybe I'll show him one of the really old ones rather than the 98 one. But I thought like for the video, the 98 one would be kind of cool because I could get his perspective and then maybe talk about it in my video. Hello, Cretaceous the Hunted, just got here. What dinosaur are you painting? Toho Godzilla and Godzilla 2014 are better in my opinion. Yeah. Yeah, no, at the moment I'm just painting a log, but I might put some like compies or maybe Coelophysis or something on it. I'm just sort of gonna make it up as I go along. I haven't determined exactly what dinosaurs should be on the log, but we'll see how it goes. So what do you guys think to the announcements of that Jurassic World app, the one where you scan like the toys' feet and then you can get their, you can collect the Mattel toys that way. So I think it's really cool because like it kind of beats counterfeiting as well in a way. To an extent, there'll always be people who copy other stuff. But I mean, like, so like with for example, like with the Jurassic Park 3 toy line, obviously, or any Jurassic Park line, you got the tag on the leg there, and people can just paint any old logo like that onto versions that they've made. So like having it on the foot and having it like a collectible thing, like you can't just go into a shop and rip. Well, I mean you could, but like if it's on the bottom of the foot, you can't. If it was on the side of their legs like the old toys, you'd just go into the shop with your app and scan every toy and collect them. Is what I'm trying to say. So I think it's kind of good that they're on the bottom. Katie, Ocarina of Time, 1986. I'll be getting the app for sure. Yeah, nice. And welcome to the stream. Ocarina of Time, good game. Clayton says, look for the mark of Jurassic Park. If it ain't Jurassic Park, was it? Look for the mark of Jurassic Park. If it ain't Jurassic Park, it's extinct. Or something like that. Wow. A helicopter going over really low. So we live not too far from like an army base here where we live. And like it's not noisy at all, but every now and then you'll get like a jet fighter go over really low, and like the sound is incredible. And it's like I always feel like whenever that happens, it's like I'm living in Star Wars or something. Like that's like the equivalent of an X-wing flying over. They just look, they look pretty badass. British Tyrannosaurus. Some news about Jeff Goldblum being on Lockwood Manor set. Oh yeah, he said he was on the set, wasn't he? In an interview. Yeah. Do you ever hear gunshots from the army bases, Hardcore Jed? No. No. So, what I'm going to do now is get this burn tool, if I can. Yeah, you can't see on the stream, like it brings up the options, but that way I need midtones and log color. So this is just so I can get, like, make it look, add the shadow and the shading and all that. But this picture which I'm drawing now, it's not really for anything. I just wanted to like do it for like do a random live stream of painting, because this is the sort of thing I want to do more of. I think a lot of people, they don't mind me streaming things like Overwatch, but at the same time, like that isn't necessarily what makes my channel in a way. I like dinosaurs and all that sort of stuff. So to have more dinosaur related stuff is always good, and I figured like painting is something I love doing, so combining the two would be really cool. And when I did the live stream painting last time, I was literally just doing the logo that's at the beginning of the live stream. Okay, so let's blend these two layers. I think it's that. Nope, it is that. Yeah, there we go. And then, okay, so that's now one layer. Now let's make a new one. If you hear singing whenever I'm talking in the background, let's call this one Jungle. My wife is she's practicing for a gig downstairs, so she's singing away. So every time like I talk, the gate opens on the mic, so you might hear like the rest of the house. You might get like glimpses of her singing, which is very good because she's a wonderful singer. So if I do say so myself. Okay, so we've got different brushes here. So let's opacity needs to go up. There we go. Hello, the book passed. What kind of singing does she do? She does all sorts, like folk singing. She loves folk songs and traditional, like British country music in a way. So like the sort of thing, like music she's into. If you look up, what's that band called? Oh god, I forget. They recently broke up, but there's a band she really likes, and there's a song I like. I'm gonna have to look it up now. It's on. The name escapes me. Something beginning with B, I think. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Bellowhead, that's it. If you listen to the band Bellowhead, Roll Alabama, like that sort of stuff. So like it's different to like American country music. You know, like in the film Titanic when they're in the bottom of the ship and there's that band playing the music. It's like that kind of stuff. That band is actually a real band, a modern band as well, and I forget the name of them as well. But yeah, they're quite good. I've got a CD of theirs somewhere. Okay, right. So this is I downloaded these new brushes, which are nice. Just sort of. Oh, actually, I don't want white. Let's go for a dark green. Oh, bless me. Bless me. What's this Jurassic word? Cheez-Its confirmed, but is it canon? What are you on about? What are you on about? Oh, I'm using the finger tool. Not even using the right bloomin'. Hey Pterodome, if you had to pick 3 dinosaurs from the Roarivores line, from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom toy line, which would you pick up and why? Says Hardcore Jed. Remind me again which ones are the Roarivores? I know I should probably know this, but which ones are the Roarivores? Are they like the oh man, what are they? Are they like the electronic ones, or are they like the smaller packs? Or is that like the one where you've got like blue with a really really big feet? Is that a Roarivore? Oh, Jurassic World Cheez-It snacks have just been revealed. Okay, British Tyrannosaur. Yeah, are they canon? Remind me which ones are in the Roarivore line, and then I'll be able to tell you. I see. I'm terrible with names like that. Like the, I mean, back in the day they were called like electronic dinosaurs, and it's like that's easy to remember what that is because it's in the name. I'm actually going to do this on a different layer. Actually, just figured that'd be better. Kate Ocarina of Time says that Irish style music I thought in Titanic. My mum loved the Cause. I'd hear Irish fiddles non-stop when she was cleaning. Yeah, good old Cause, man. The Cause, that was back in the day. Remember hearing those on the radio. Electronic: Ceratosaurus, Pteranodon, Pachyrhinosaurus, Triceratops, Allosaurus, Baryonyx, and more. I'm guessing. Okay, I would go for the Ceratosaurus 100% because it's like the one from Jurassic Park 3, and the Ankylosaurus, the Baryonyx. They're my 3. But if I couldn't choose the Baryonyx, I'd probably go Allosaurus. Oh no, maybe a herbivore, maybe another herbivore. I'd go like, oh no, Pteranodon. The Pteranodon looks really good. You see, because I've sold like a lot of my Jurassic Park collection, like I don't own a Pteranodon anymore. Oh, actually, tell a lie. Yes, I do. The only I don't know if I'll be able to get this out. The only where is it? Oh, there he is. The only pteranodon I actually own, let me pull this up, is actually this is this baby one in the Nick Van Owen box set. Yeah, that one there. That's the only one I own. But I do have one of my favourites from when I was a kid. The hey, come here. The Quetzalcoatlus, which I've always absolutely loved this thing. I think it looks really cool. It's like and it's huge. Sorting out the mess down here. Oh, by the way, just before I continue on, not many people know this, but this is obviously a Kenner Lost World action figure, right? But if you look at the bottom, let me focus the camera. There we go. Where are we looking? Are you ready for this? Dun dun dun. Kenner, owned by Hasbro. So Kenner was like a sub company of Hasbro around the time the Lost World was being released. So whenever anyone complains about Hasbro, I'm always like, well, they did help produce the old Lost World toy line. I like any old crap dinosaur toy as a kid, says British Tyrannosaur, but I wish I had these. Well, I'm thinking of doing a giveaway on this channel in the near future, and the Nick Van Owen is going to be part of that because he is mint in box. I thought, it'd be pretty cool. What are you saying? Katie Ocarina of Time, 1986. I'm old. You're not that old, Joe. If you were born in 1986, I was 1988, so not that much of a difference. We would have grown up with the exact same sort of, understanding of the world at that time. Back when TV only had 4 channels in the UK, unless you had Sky. I'm super excited for the Jurassic World toys, says Katie. They come out right near 2 of my son's birthdays, so I'll have a perfect excuse. Yeah. Gonna be so good. Thought the King Kong 2005 toy line was really good. Had a few of them, said British Tyrannosaur. Yeah, I never actually owned any of the King Kong 2005. I think when that film came out, I was 16, 17, something like that. And so I was a little bit more. I was like, I don't want toys. It's funny now. I'm nearly 30. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'll buy a couple of the old Fallen Kingdom ones, just so my nephew has something to play with when he comes over. All right, so just adding bits of jungle and whatnot. Cool, but it's still Nick, says book past. Kids in high school, yeah. Man, I would love to go back to school with all the knowledge that I have now. And just to freak out the teachers and stuff by asking questions that they're like, wait, how do you know this? Or wait, why are you thinking about that? If I went back to school, let's say I went back to when I was at school in I don't know, 2001. Wouldn't it be really funny to start ranting on about the internet and being like, oh, it's going to change everything. They're going to make something like social media, and it's gonna change the world because everyone will be able to communicate with everyone. all the dummies will be able to talk to each other, and all the smart people will be able to talk to each other, and there'll be this amazing time where everyone can talk to each other, and parents and everyone will be like on Facebook talking about like, you know, their lives to each other, and everyone can see it. Just like they'll be like, what are you on about? I've always thought that'd be really funny. Like, how does he know? Like, why are these predictions? You're crazy. Kid, how do you know this stuff? Or like YouTube, like what I'm streaming on right now, be like, oh yeah, they're gonna make like this, you know, this your own TV channel. They're gonna take public access television and make it a really, really easy thing to like get into, and it's gonna like shape a lot of people's lives and get them experiencing different types of entertainment. And it'll kill TV almost to a point where like YouTube, I think, isn't YouTube like the most watched thing on the planet, aside from probably the more darker side of the internet. British Transport, if you see the bull V-Rex, it's really good. One of the faves before it broke. It could swallow people and shove them down its gullet. Okay. So a little bit like the bull T-Rex from The Lost World. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make my thing really big. I'm going to add in another tree. I'm going to use like a dark blue to be like, there you go, look at that. And then over here, I'm going to add in like a bigger tree. And then use the, light some up, add in a lighter one down here. And I was thinking of actually having like a gap in the trees here, so like if I bend that one out, like this sort of stuff, I can just fix it like that. By the way, Clayton, if you're still watching this, I haven't watched your latest videos yet because I've been a little bit busy, and I put them all on a watch like later list. I've done that with a lot of the Jurassic Park channels that I follow. I have a watch later list, and I shove them all in there, and then when I'm like working, writing or something, I'll have them all playing in the background. I've been watching a lot of the Gaming Beaver recently because his channel was something that I watched, you know, a little while ago, and I was like, if I'm going to be 100% honest, I thought he was a little bit intense. But then something clicked, and recently I can't get enough of his videos. And so I'm like, okay, he's great and he's awesome, and I need to like, you know, go back. And because like I'm kind of new to all that, he's got so much content that like I've just been literally watching a lot of his videos. There's a lot to eat up. What are you guys saying? Have you seen the parasols in Dre World Evolution, says British Dinosaur? Looks like we can change colours of the animals, which would match the films. InGen really couldn't decide what colour they wanted for their animals, could they? Well, they made the parasols are like green and red in the first one, and then they're like orange and yellowy red in the second film. And then I think you see in Jurassic Park 3 the green ones again mixed with the red ones. There's like a couple, and then in Jurassic World you've got predominantly red ones, I think. See, it's good that like what I've just done here has made the like this log that I'm working on right now, like in the background, it's got like a lighter side and then a darker side, because I'm going to have a gap in the trees here where you can see other dinosaurs walking around or whatever. And yeah, so it's good to have like this section here that's all light. Okay. Lamadia says, I haven't seen an art stream in a while. Wow. Oh, well, welcome. Yeah, I'm starting to do more of these. And hopefully I'll be doing a lot more in the build-up to... Basically, in the build-up to Jurassic World Evolution, because when that game comes out, I foresee a lot of live streaming from the Jurassic community, myself included, with that game. But I do want to like keep up the art as well, because it's something I really enjoy. And I should really use the time in the future, because I'm working on a cartoon series. And at the moment, I don't really, with work and stuff, I don't really have too much time to really set aside to work on that, which I really do want to work on, because it's something I've really enjoyed doing. So doing like art streams of that would be really, really fun. But at the same time, it's like, at the moment, it'd be like just painting walls and ceilings and nothing too exciting, like, you know, like drawing a forest. Well, I mean, there would be a couple of forests in there, but yeah, like at the moment in the story of that, like it's not, you know, they're down a corridor, so like, and I'm having several different angles of the same corridor, so it'd be like painting the same thing over and over again. Yeah. Katie, Gaming Beaver is funny as fuck. Yeah, he's great. Clayton Fioriti, he's pretty cool. Very different content to me. I'd love to have a big Jurassic collaboration with everyone. Yeah, they should like we should get like the Jurassic Park YouTubers all together and discuss like the old. I don't know. I don't know who would have to choose that list, because there's actually loads of Jurassic YouTubers. So it'd have to be like maybe a select few, but then who do you pick? Because everyone in the community is great when it comes to like putting content out. But yeah, Gaming Beaver would be one. Do you have a Patreon or something like that? I'm new to the channel and wanted to support your work more. I have marathoned all of it in the past day or two. Oh, thank you, Lamadia. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I don't have a Patreon, no, but you can actually, I think you can donate to the channel directly, I think. I've got that set up. If not, I'll get it set up real soon. I know like donations can be sent through, or like tips can be sent through in live streams, but don't worry, that's not a hint. I'm just saying like that's like because I don't have a Patreon. That's one way people can help out with the channel. But yeah, like because you know, as some of you know, like my work elsewhere is very time consuming and something I love doing. So you know, every little helps to the YouTubers is greatly appreciated. Have you guys seen that one game called Raptors, says British Tyrannosaur, which is a well done fan game for Jurassic Park? It has Jurassic Park 3 levels and raptors in the kitchen, which captures the scene well. Yes, I have. I really want to have a go on the Jurassic Park 3 forest version, but the game I've seen being played so far is unfinished, let's put it that way. Obviously it's like a fan project, and like I want to play it when it's like refined and like really, really well done, because the idea of like climbing the trees and avoiding the raptors is really cool, and something that like I think could make for a very funny stream. But like that'd be cool if like you could actually climb the trees and hide, and then they set traps. Maybe you're with like a team of other people like online, and if they like the raptors like catch you, they might make a trap with your corpse and stuff. But like the time and effort that's gone into it so far, with like the way it like looks and stuff, they've definitely 100% nailed the look of Jurassic Park 3 and the original film. So what I'm going to do now, just before I look at the chat probably, is just add a background that is all green, and then add no, I'm going to be different. I'm going to add a purple sky. Oh no, wait, wrong one. I'm going to add a purple sky and then I'll work with the colours off this. Like it's going to be like a really nice looking scene. So let's get some more twigs and stuff in here. New layer. Small trees. There we go. Small trees. So what are you guys saying? Sorry. Jurassic Park YouTubers to debate would be awesome. I don't know if it would necessarily be a debate more than a circle jerk. Unless someone like goes, yeah, but you know the T-Rex won't beat the Spinosaurus, and everyone goes, what? What did you just say? How dare you? Clayton has a new video up. Oh, nice. Excellent. There'd be at least 10 separate channels. Yeah. Well, that could be like a cool series of videos if, like, you know, you had like the Jurassic YouTubers, and then you had like a series of videos where like you were talking to the other YouTubers, and then like, you know, you shared like who you talk to, so then they have like you on the channel or something. Okay. I might have to jump in one day, either be this area or Zelda. That's funny you mentioned Zelda, because I literally was just playing Breath of the Wild. So I've gotten up to, which I hadn't gone back to in ages, but like I got up to the point where I've got one more defined beast to destroy, the one in the volcano, and then I've got the Master Sword, so now I'm literally on to, saying literally too much, I'm on to Ganon, like after that. So at the moment I'm just going around like collecting, screws and ancient cores and all that sort of stuff, so I can build some Guardian arrows. And then go take down this Guardian really easily in the volcano. And I think I've nearly got all the shrines as well, so like I need to go and collect my green tunic once I've got all of them. But I think I've nearly done all the shrines as well. But it's like it's been a while since I played that game, and then because I've got like a day off today, I was like, oh, do you know what? I really want to get back into playing Zelda a little bit, so I sat down in my jammies this morning and played a little bit of Breath of the Wild, which is such a perfect game. It really is. It's really redefined like how you explore an open world in a video game. It's really cool. Yeah, thanks, Lamadia. Yeah, there's like a gallery of my artwork and stuff on the channel, which you can check out to see like how my art actually looks when it's sort of finished. But some of that stuff's really old. And if I'm honest, like a lot of my work recently, which I've yet to sort of talk about properly, is like a lot of photo manipulation, and that's and there's some really interesting things you can do with that. I've found. I need to get a Switch, says Clayton. Yeah, Switch is an amazing console. Obviously, like I want Jurassic World Evolution on the Switch. Like I think that'd be really cool. But I mean, I'm gonna get it on PC because I'll be live streaming it. But I'd love to have a version of it on Switch because the controls are so like amazing. And Mario Kart 8 is just next level of fun. The only Zelda game I've played is Link's crossbow training for the Wii, says British Tyrannosaur. Breath of the Wild he brings over a lot, and I'm playing Majora's Mask on 3DS lately. Yeah, Majora's Mask is one I've not played actually. Katie, you love Ocarina of Time obviously because it's in your name. You were 12 and it's still your favourite. Yeah, Ocarina of Time is one I've not completed, but I played a bit of it when it was first out on the N64. Like the Zelda games I've played are the original, and that ones that I've played almost to completion. Let's say, because I always get I get distracted too easily. But there's a Phantom Hourglass for the DS I really enjoyed. But Breath of the Wild is the one that I'm just like, right, there's no competing now. I wanna complete this, and then I'll have like the original and the new one under my belt. Clayton, I own the original Zelda 2, Link to the Past. Or Zelda 2, Link to the Past, Ocarina and Majora's Mask. Those are some of the greatest games Nintendo has ever created. Incredible work. Me and the original Zelda game are the same age, says Katie. Yeah, it redefined everything. Have you seen the film Legend by Ridley Scott? Because that film is pretty much Zelda the movie. It's very much, from what I understand, is inspired by Zelda, or actually Zelda was inspired by it, should I say? I think it came out. Yeah, it came out first, and I think it inspired Zelda, if I'm correct. Legend's great. It's particular tastes of you know, it's a particular taste, but I really like it. Yeah, Tom Cruise before he you know, young unfiltered Tom Cruise, let's put it that way. Right, okay, so I want to put an effect on this log. Here you go. Change the opacity. There you go. That looks pretty good. Convert to a smart object. I mean, this is literally looking very rough still at the moment. Very almost childlike. Jungle, that's what we want. This layer here. And then I'm just actually wait, what I need to do is add a shadow under this layer, so then I can really get the distance, size up, spread all the way up, that's it, and then this all the way down, distance, yeah, like this. That on 2, the opacity down. Oh no, don't want it down to, yeah, and then take the spread down just. I'd say, yeah, 2. Okay, so it's just like that, so then I can sort of see a little bit easier when I'm like painting. So I want to make it look like really, really wild. I've actually got Legend, I think, but I think it's downstairs. I love that song "Loved by the Sun" that plays in the end credits on. I think there's like 4 or 5 different edits of Legend, which is like no surprise knowing Ridley Scott. But like, yeah, I love. There's a version with like "Loved by the Sun" by I think is it Tangerine Dream. Like I love that song. It's really funny the way he's like he says like. Oh god, I can't remember how the lyrics go, but he says something like "for goodness sake," and like whenever you listen to like an empowering song and it uses the phrase "for goodness sake," was it something love for goodness sake? No, no, no. Yeah, it's just like it always makes me laugh whenever I hear it, but it's a great song. Like when painting forests and stuff, like most of this detail that I'm adding on now is probably going to be covered up by something in the foreground. But when you like, I mean, it seems quite obvious to say, I think, for people who do artwork, but like, you know, the idea is that you paint the background and you get all the detail in as much as you can. Because you don't know, like I haven't added the dinosaurs in, so like when I add them in, I want to make sure that like wherever I put them, they're not going to be like showing a gap through in the background. It's almost like what they do in like CGI, the artists do for like movies. So like if you go on ILM's YouTube channel, they have a breakdown of like The Last Jedi. They have the breakdown of there's a shot where I haven't seen The Last Jedi, but like there's a shot where the characters go into a hangar bay and it's like a massive, really detailed inside of like an Imperial or should I say First Order hangar bay, and like most of that detail you just don't see in the final shot, but it's there just in case the director's like, let's move the camera this way and stuff. And I feel like the artwork like this applies in that same sort of logic. So, because you never know where you're gonna like change it up, and especially when you're doing what I'm doing, which is like making up as you go along. Like I don't know where all the dinosaurs are going to be at this point, so I want to make sure that the background and the environment is definitely detailed enough, so then I can move stuff around. Prince of Imperfection, Brian, welcome to the stream. I'm just glad so many other people like talking about Jurassic Park. Yay for YouTube, says Katie. Oh man, yeah, like there's a lot of people out there. Like as a kid, like this would have completely blown my mind. Like just the fandom alone, like how prevalent it is, and I feel like that's a testament to the quality of the movies that they put out, even like Jurassic Park 3 to an extent. You know, a lot of that film gets quite a lot of hate, which I was party to back in the day, but then since Jurassic World was announced, I've gone back and watched it so much that I like really appreciate it now. Are you going to add a few layers to the image to dull down the sharpness of it? Oh yeah, no, yeah, honestly. There's going to be like blurring, focal point. I've got to add in lighting. I've got to do loads of stuff. Like at the moment, it's very basic. I'm just sort of getting the layers down of like what plant life should be and where it should be placed. Like what plant life should be in this picture, and I'm just sort of making it up as I go along. I know not to add in, even though this is all green in the background. Like I know not to add in grass. Because Walking with Dinosaurs taught me that grass didn't evolve until after the dinosaurs. Sorry, my inner art nerd is hyped. Oh yeah, no, like if you see something that you think I should do, like, and you address something that I feel like, you know, I was like, oh yeah, I haven't thought of that. I'll definitely listen and add it on. These art streams, I want to be quite more of an interactive experience. So like I did say I wanted to add some small dinosaurs climbing across this log with a big one in the background. But like, if you guys want to suggest what dinosaurs should be in this picture, based on the environment, let me know, because I'll definitely change it. Like, there's no preset rules here. I'm just literally drawing to my heart's content. But like, I'm making these look like ferns. So like, I don't. Did ferns evolve back in like the dinosaur age? Or we could say this is on one of the Jurassic Park islands or something. I don't know. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is add a new layer and add some bushes, not just fern stuff. So let's put that under there. Let's call that bushes. Bushes. Some dank bush. Special effects brushes. Let's have a look, see what we got here. Oh, there you go. That looks pretty good. And let's change the color to go for a more like almost lime green. Did I? Oh no, Jesus Christ, why did that change? Go down. Oh, I see, special effects brushes don't apply. Okay, whatever. This one, yeah, let's do that. Turn the opacity down. I guess putting a T-Rex walking across the log would change the scale a bit, says the book fancy. Yeah, well, actually, like, we could do that. I'd have to remove these trees. I mean, it could be like add a ravine. Like, you could add like a ravine in. Like, let me just use this to give you an example. So like, I could add like a cliff like this, and then a cliff like that, and you see like down a ravine, and you know, the T-Rex could be walking across the log. So I could very easily change the perspective of this image, like with a flick of a button. Jimmy. Hello, Mr. Hayes. Jimmy. Yeah. Me and my friend Will used to joke about that all the time when we watched King Kong. We always used to be like, Jimmy, Mr. Hayes. One day I'd love to do an art collab with you. You can see what you mean by the small dinosaurs. Maybe some Compy or a Dimorphodon would be cool. Dimorphodon is something I've never actually drawn before. Like that would be kind of interesting. I could draw my first ever Dimorphodon on this stream. Okay, let's add some bushes. Some bushes. Okay. So now let's go into layer style. Let's go inner shadow. Where is that? There it is. Nope. I want it to be like, I don't know, 2. Oh my word, that jumps really quick. And, there we go. And opacity. And drop shadow. Maybe take the size down a little bit. Yes. Right. Now, Let's add in some more. Let's change these trees, because these trees need more detail, I think. Run, Jimmy, get back to the ship. Clayton says King Kong is the best sequel to the Lost World Jurassic Park. It's like a prequel. Compies and Dimorphodon in the same scene. I could do like a you know, the Compies are on this log and they're looking up as a Dimorphodon flies off with a Compy in its legs, like it's just come out of the trees and taken a Compy off. And then maybe in the background have like, I don't know, two massive giant dinosaurs going at each other, or like dueling. And so you've got like, or maybe a peaceful serene, so then you can see like basically like a tiny chaotic situation in this huge world. So even like on a smaller level, these dinosaurs are like, you know, having struggles. The struggle of life knows the size does not. What's I'm trying to say? Size does not apply to the struggle of life. It's like size matters not. Judge me by my size, do you? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I love the Dimorphodons in Jurassic World. Like the fact that they like, it can't be a coincidence that they, you know, were green and they had that scene where it jumped on Owen and just like they do in the Lost World computer game for PlayStation 1. Like the fact that they must have gone through the records and gone like, has Dimorphodon ever appeared in the series before? And then they looked at the Lost World video game and were like, oh yeah, there it is. Well, let's base it a little bit off that, because those were like bastards in the video game, like really aggressive when you were the Compy and the Hunter, actually, when you were Dieter Stark. And I just love that in Jurassic World they sort of look and feel the same. So whether it was a coincidence, but either way, like the end result is very similar to what we see in that game. Okay. Right, now I'm going to add like moss and bits of plant life just growing all over this tree. Actually, I think I've got like a wrong brush. Let's get general brushes. Yeah, turn the opacity down. That's it. There you go, saying, I was shocked how much detail they put into everything in Jurassic World, says Clayton. I went into the theatre hoping for something at least passable, came out incredibly happy and felt like a kid again. Really impressive. Yeah, like, I'm still dumbfounded myself. Like, I know, you know, myself and Tim, we did Masrani Global and all that sort of stuff, and we had to, you know, sort of be involved with production, but like that was where I was like, man, this is like something to be truly, like, even if I wasn't a part of that process, I just know I'd have watched the film and been like, this is incredibly satisfying. Like, they really went out of their way to make sure that the fourth Jurassic Park that people had been waiting for 14 years was of high standards. You know, yes, they didn't get to use as many animatronics as the old films, and And yes, they did like sort of go over some similar themes that like you've seen in like the previous films and stuff. Like the the idea of the park in itself is very similar to the first film. But that said, like the new stuff they added in, like the Raptor Squad and the way they looked at that and the whole hybrid aspect, like it just, I remember reading the script and just being absolutely blown away. Like when I was reading it, just going, this is gonna change everything. British translator. Super Nintendo Chalmers. I hope you're prepared for an unforgettable luncheon. I never thought I'd see the day that Jurassic series would pick itself up and come back to life. But lo and behold, it happened. Evo the Nerd says, hi people. Yo, Evo the Nerd, welcome to the chat. Labadia said, on that, I was in the same boat as a kid growing up with it. I made my life goal to make the next JP, just someone else beat me to it. Once I finish studying, I'll get into that franchise. Oh, crap. Yeah. I mean, like, I even managed to pick up, if you're in the UK, like, you pick up the copy of Jurassic World, and the copy, like, has this, like, the original logo on it. And I've stuck stickers on the back of Claire and the Raptor Squad on the back just to make it my own. But like this like sitting on the shelf next to this, like looks, you're just like, they actually made a fourth Jurassic. It's incredible. I even own the Lego Indominus Escapes. Which I didn't realise had come out on a separate DVD, like on it all on its own. So like another thing, and I show that to my nephew whenever he's over. Like he always wants that or Jurassic World on. Why is this so? Oh, it's the shadow. Okay, it's the drop shadow. I wondered why that was coming through really dark. Let's get another new layer. And then let's go down to 2. Do you guys think the unidentified ankylosaur skeleton in the trailer is Euphocephalus? I don't know. As a teenager, Clayton says, I wrote 4 scripts for Jurassic Park 4. Yeah, I think everyone did. I wrote one, which is actually online for people to read. It went so the storyline. I'll talk about the storyline of what I wrote for Jurassic Park 4. So wait, where is? Okay, so I am drawing. It's just very opacity's up. So my Jurassic Park 4 went along the lines of Costa Rica, started in Costa Rica, and a dead velociraptor washed up on the shores of the Costa Rican coast. And they went and examined it, and it died from a disease. So they had to contain it. They were like, okay, we've got to contain it. And they were like, but the disease is untraceable. They can't trace exactly what the disease is. So while this is happening, like this is all happening on the beach, but while they're like examining this body that's been quarantined because they don't want to move it just in case they move the virus, they like a news reporter gets wind of this. She's like stood there listening to everything going on, and then she finds in a local bar an old park worker who used to work for InGen, who lives in Costa Rica, who's just hanging around, a very Owen Grady type character, who I called Ed Regis. So I rewrote Ed Regis's character to be this like a good guy, not like he is in the book. Kind of like the opposite of what they did with Gennaro, or Gennaro. And she convinces him to go off to Nublar to investigate. Or was it Sauna? I think it was Sauna actually. To go off and investigate like the source of this virus. And obviously he's like, no, this is stupid, this is suicide, blah blah blah. And then she convinces him to go along for the trip. I can't remember how. It was a long time ago. So anyway, a few of them go off to the island, and when they're there, they discover that they need to collect DNA from some of the dinosaurs. So you have this like action sequence where these Parasaurolophus are like stampeding around them, and they're like, oh my god, we need to get a sample, and they manage to finally get a DNA sample. But then they notice that on the like sides of the leg, like almost like where these where the mark is on the side of the leg, so this like orange colored like device is attached to the leg. And when they like retrieve one from the Parasaurolophus, it like says biosyn on it, and they're like, wait, what's going on here? And then they find out that biosyn had injected that raptor that appeared on the beach with a genetically engineered virus that couldn't spread, but it would give anyone who looked at it, would give the illusion of spreading in a way, like almost like camouflage, like how a chameleon camouflages with the jungle. This virus would give off the presence like it's a very contagious thing, but it's not. So, but they'd only injected it into that one raptor to make the islands quarantined, so that way biosyn could go in and work on collecting DNA samples and capturing dinosaurs and stuff in secret with no one bothering them. But obviously this group of characters find out they're doing this, and they try and stop them, but biosyn capture the good guys. And then there's a scene where like they're all standing around their jeeps, and Dodson's doing his like usual spiel, like not villainous, like I'm gonna kill you or anything like that, but he says, but how are you gonna sort of hide on a jungle? he says a line like how I'm not going to kill you myself, but I'll let you fight for survival in the jungle. And his henchmen walk over with buckets, kind of like in Anaconda, and they throw buckets of Parasaurolophus blood all over them. And then they drive off and destroy their camp and leave the good guys on the island. Well, no, they drive off to go like do what they're doing, and the good guys are then left on the island covered in parasaur blood, which they know is going to attract the T-Rex, because like they're like saying, one of them's a paleontologist, or Ed Regis is saying like, yeah, this is going to draw the T-Rexes to us, so we need to get moving. And it's like then they have this, like the good guys have this conversation, if I remember correctly, where they're like, we could go and try and escape from the island, or we could stay and actually try and stop these guys and hunt them. So while they're being hunted by the T-Rex, which then actively follows them around the island because it's constantly smelling this like load of parasaur blood, they like they go hunting for the humans. And it was almost like Die Hard on Isla Sorna, like the good guys are like spying on the bad guys, like how Alan Grant was spying on the raptors, but it's the opposite. They're like looking at humans going, what are they doing, like what are they blah blah blah. And then eventually it ended on, they go to this airport, and basically everyone eventually just gets eaten. Aside from the good guys and there's this chase sequence where the T-Rex is chasing a helicopter that's taking off from the airport that's seen in Jurassic Park 3. There's only one raptor in the script. It's a rogue raptor that had been kicked out of the pack, and it was scarred and like really dangerous, and so it was like fending for itself. But yeah, that was pretty much the story. I know there was a whole scene with Dilophosaurus in it. Dilophosaurus is attacking the main characters, but it was mainly like this whole back and forth between the humans. There was a scene I remember where they're like hiding in some long grass out in the middle of the field, watching Dodson and his men working, and then you see like they're like watch him, and they're like, where did they go? And then all of a sudden Dodson's men start running, and the T-Rex starts running past them because it can smell the blood on them. And so they're like, oh god, if the T-Rex, like, not only is the T-Rex going to come towards us and try and eat us, it's going to give away our position to Dodson and all that lot. So yeah, it was like a very cat and mouse plot. But to be honest, like with Jurassic World out now, like I can see how vastly sterile the script that I wrote when I was a teenager was. It didn't necessarily do anything new. So like the setup to get them on the island was something that I like fought hard of, like, oh, what haven't we seen in a Jurassic Park film? The idea of like a virus is something talked about in the books, but like a virus that's fake and is man-made to, like, you know, keep people off the island, I thought was kind of clever in a way, but and like an interesting way of doing it. But at the same time, like once you got to the island, it was the same old shtick. Like there was nothing interesting. So when I read the script for Jurassic World in the pre-production phase, like I was blown away. I was like, this does so many new things that I was like, this just puts any idea that I've ever had to shame. And so I was like, yeah. But yeah, so there you go. That was my Jurassic Park 4 script. Oh, and Hammond and Malcolm made a cameo at the end. They went and visited Hammond in the hospital because he got really ill, and Malcolm was there. Ed Regis wanted to go talk to him because Hammond had heard through the grapevine what had happened, and then summoned him to his hospital bed. And Malcolm was there visiting, and he brought John Hammond flowers, and I can't remember what flowers they were, but if I remember correctly. Evo the nerd. Oh no, wait. Oh my word, I've missed the chat quite a lot. Is Indominus Escapes worth watching? Yes, but it's definitely very for the little ones, and I wouldn't say it's, you know, for our age range. I own it because I got the nephew and stuff, and plus, you know, it's interesting to own. I didn't write a script, says British Tyrannosaur, but I spent my time watching fan-made trailers for it. They were all just the military bombed the island, but something has survived, and it was the Spino on the mainland. I remember seeing a fan trailer made, says Evo the Nerd, about how the original film's cast went back to finish what they started. Thanks, Clayton. Thanks, Book Pass. You guys seem to enjoy the story of my Jurassic Park 4 script. Oh, thank you, Jork Lind. Hello, Chaos Knight. Oh yeah, thanks for the kind words. Like, yeah, it's like it was the same old shtick getting to the island, but at the same time, I tried to get like up the reasons for why the characters are going back to the island again. It never dawned on me. It never dawned on me to do something like an open park. Like, and I remember back when they announced that it was going to involve an open park, before myself and Tim were brought onto the project. Like, I remember not liking the idea of an open park because I thought, well, why would they do that? And then when I watched the films back, like before we like got hired, I remember thinking like, yeah, actually everyone in Jurassic Park 3 was like wanting to ask Alan Grant questions about it, and there was loads of interest towards the dinosaurs, and I was like, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense that a company would capitalize on that if no one was around to stop them, like Hammond. You know, and Malcolm wouldn't have the power to stop an entire company, so like I was like, okay, yeah, I can get on board with that. And it worked. It worked massively. And obviously, after a 14-year wait, that was such a perfect jumping off point to restart the franchise again. But yes, right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm gonna link a lot of these layers. Those two I'm gonna link, or I'm gonna merge layers, and then the bushes, where's that go? Bushes there, trees there. Yeah, I'm gonna merge those, and then all that jungle, yeah, I'll merge those. So now we've got this layer, this layer. But see, now I'm like, I'm looking at it like this. Like, if I remove that, it looks like it'd be really cool to have not an open plain behind it, but more a deep jungle. So if I invert, let's try this. Where's the invert thing? If I invert, so yeah, there you go. So it goes. Oh no, but then it changes. I bloody merged those layers, didn't I? Yeah, wait, let me undo my merges. So, and then redo these ones. Merge layers. Merge layers. Merge layers. Okay, so now, yeah, so now if I invert this, yeah, and then change the hue and saturation to like this, and then get a really, really dark green, and put it like this. So see, I've just completely changed the idea behind the picture. I'm now going to add loads more jungle in the background and make it really thick and looking like almost like sauna rather than a gap in the forest. I'm actually going to add more trees and you know whatnot. Yeah, add a big old tree there. One thing I don't get about the InGen files on the DPG website says Evo the Nerd is how did they know that they had a Patasaurus in the DNA of the other species if they hadn't been hatched yet? You can tell what an animal is going to look like by reading the DNA. So like you can correlate what a DNA is going to do by decoding it, I believe. So like you can summarize what the thing's going to look like before you've even, you know, birthed it. Yeah, I mean, like that's my guess. You know, it's my guess for how like that you can sequence DNA. I believe I watched an episode of Star Trek where they mentioned that the other day. Next Generation, because I've been getting straight back into that, watching seasons 1 and 2 of Next Gen, and I'm nearly halfway through season 2 at the moment. So. Well, I mean, you could always look at it like maybe they cloned an embryo, and then, you know, worked it out from there. But they didn't actually like grow an entire asset. They just needed to know what it was. I'm doing the same thing with the Next Generation. Says Jorkland, up to season 5 now. Yeah, well, like I said this on another live stream. Like I watched. When Netflix first got the rights to show Star Trek, they had the original series, Next Gen, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise, and then Discovery was being made. Oh, and they had the animated series, but oh no, they didn't when they first got it, I don't think. And then I watched it from Next Gen season 3. Watched all of Next Gen from season 3 onwards. Then I watched Deep Space Nine. Then I watched Voyager. Then I've watched Discovery. In between watching all those, I've been fleeting in and out watching the original series. Then they added seasons 1 and 2 of Next Gen onto their library. So now I've gone back to Next Gen to watch that. I haven't bothered with Enterprise because I got like 4 episodes in and I was like, I don't think I can stick with this. Discovery I watched all of, so I'm actually like gone full circle. I've just got a few episodes of the original series to watch, and then the rest of seasons 2 of Next Gen, and then I think I'm pretty much done. Maybe I will go into the animated series of the original. So, yeah, thank you, Katie. The picture's looking a little bit better, isn't it? Now I've changed like the background, mixing things up. Like the colors of the purple and stuff. Like I'm still gonna do that. I'm still gonna do that, like in like shafts of light. Like, cause I haven't. This is all green and stuff at the moment, but I haven't actually lit the thing yet. Like aside from the log, but the log's not even finished yet because I got to add in all like the detail. But I don't. If I'm honest, I don't have much stream time left. I've got a little while, but not a lot. So what I'll do is I'll save this and then come back to it when I next live stream, which won't be, you know, it won't be long before I'm back doing this. I'll continue this on the next paint live stream. Darken it all up like this. Actually, I don't like that. It's there we go. What are you saying? British Translator, do you think that in the Jurassic Park universe, the T-Rex's vision is based on movement and Alan Grant was right, or that it was frog DNA and that coincidentally matched Grant's theory? I know in the book in Jurassic Park, the game, Laura Sorkin, the character, talks about that, saying like it was a genetic defect of the frog DNA. But I like to think, yes, it's true, because, you know, Grant's theory was right for the T-Rexes. So what I'm saying is Grant theorized that's what the T-Rexes did before he even knew that there were dinosaurs cloned. So like the fact that the T-Rex actually showed that trait, even InGen's T-Rex showed that trait, basically proved Grant was right. And the book passed, yes, Grant was a prophet. At the moment, I am trying to make a film canon accurate map of Isla Nublar as it was in 1993 using the 2015 topographical map. I'm currently trying to get the paddock layout accurate as possible. I'd say the best thing to do with that is use in the film the screen where it like shows the paddocks going like use that one, because that shows like exactly where how the paddocks are laid out. Like having the fences wrapped around mountains. Velocelot says, I have a theory. What if Vic Hoskins was actually alive? He got mauled for around 14 seconds and the raptor left him to run after the others. There were other InGen employees around the lab packing up DNA. I think they were out of that room when he got mauled. And yeah, I don't think Vic Hoskins is going to be coming back. I think he got pretty much done in by Delta. She slashed at his throat, and then he was a goner. Okay, let's get a dark blue for actually darker than that. Darker than that. Let's get a dark blue. Oh no, wait, I'm actually drawing over a tree. I thought that was in the background. Yeah. No. I'll change that. I won't have dark blue. I'll keep it yellow. Okay. What do I want to do next? Let's add more Yeah, let's add more trees and detail in. Jurassic fan, which movie do you think put the franchise to sleep? Jurassic Park 3 or Jurassic Park 4 with the human dinosaurs and everything? I see a lot of people blame Jurassic Park 3, however, I think it was more Jurassic Park 4. I think it was a combination of the reaction to Jurassic Park 3 along with the struggle to find what story they should tell next. Because like the human dinosaur hybrids isn't like, I'm gonna say it isn't necessarily like a bad idea. It's just the actual execution of it. They were trying really radically stupid ideas for the most part for like how that should play out, and so I think it was almost like a combination of the two. And what, you know, for Jurassic fans, this is something that's really good, is like the time between Jurassic World and Jurassic Park 3 actually lends to help the believability of how such a park can exist. Like the story of Jurassic World shows an open park that's been open for years, and a lot of time has passed between the last time we, you know, stepped into that universe. So I think the passage of time helped bring it back, but I think back in the day it was Jurassic Park 3, and I think it was both, like a little bit of both. JP3 kind of didn't do anything, so the film series felt redundant. Yeah, I mean, Jurassic Park 3, it's set up. I don't think like the actual stuff on the island was that bad, but like the setup of Grant going to the island and stuff was exactly the same as what we saw in Jurassic Park. So I feel like that it didn't help. Like it didn't help itself that it was an hour and a half long, and yeah, so I feel like it was a combination of that and the fourth one. But what's really interesting, right now, I'm gonna hopefully I'll blow some minds here. Let me up my webcam a little bit. Right here behind me, I have Jurassic Park Adventures, the Flyers book, which these like books came out after Jurassic Park 3. And there's a bit where, let me just see if I can find it. There's a bit where Alan Grant goes to like a press conference at Universal Studios, and there's like loads of press there, and they're talking to like Grant and Eric about like their time on the island, because this book follows on from this one, Prey, and in Prey it's established that Alan Grant and a team of scientists have set up a research base on Sauna to like study the dinosaurs. Exactly what that person said in Jurassic Park 3 when she's like, would you want to get on Isla Sauna and study them? Like in these stories, yes, he actually did go and do it. I don't consider these canon, but yeah, that's what he does in the story. And there's a bit where in this book where he's talking, I just got to try and find it. Let me have a look. Yeah, here you go. Oh my god, I found it. So he's talking to some reporters. Oh wait, I need to focus this. And keep in mind, this came out in like 2002 or 2003. I'll have a look. But like, read. So it says here, a third rose quickly. Alan's gaze narrowed here. He says he tensed at the sight of the scruffy report in khaki shorts. What about the reports of secret production of human dinosaur hybrids to be used by the military? So like this book planted the seeds for the John Sayles script in a way, or maybe another script, but like in this. So technically, if you like count this as like canon, there's reports, there's rumors of dinosaur human hybrids in the Jurassic Park universe. So like they were beginning to start to plug it. So it went through. It must have been going through production quite extensively. Yeah. British Transport. Why didn't they use the caveman being cloned from the one in the Lost World storybook? Well, it's you've got to look at it this way. Like the idea of a human dinosaur hybrid is something that, like, dare I say it, it's almost a natural progression of like where things were going at the time, and like this, and ethically speaking, it perfectly ties into the idea of chaos and everything like that. But the problem is when people visualize what a human dinosaur hybrid would look like, it's always something like you'd see in like I don't know, like the lizard from the Amazing Spider-Man movie. Like people imagine that sort of thing, and like there are ways of doing it that would be quite interesting. I know in my How Crazy Can Jurassic Park Get video I talked about like how I wouldn't mind the idea of a human dinosaur hybrid if they did it in a way like you see a dead one lying on like a laboratory table, that it was just like a failed experiment, it never took off. Like for whatever reason, human DNA and dinosaur DNA was just uncompatible, but they did grow one to try and see if it would survive. But like I wouldn't want to, if I still hope they don't actually do anything like that, but like yeah, I can see how it could be done quite well and quite scary if it was done seriously. Like arguably the best scene in the Alien Resurrection is the scene where she finds all the failed clones and she finds like the human alien hybrid lying on the table. That's really disturbing and stuff. But I mean, it's kind of diffused by how crap the that film is, and they off it on a joke about like wasting ammunition and stuff in that movie. But like if it was done correctly, and obviously in a Jurassic it wouldn't be as disturbing as that as that scene in Alien Resurrection. But you could have like this, like, oh my god, like they were really tampering with Mother Nature here. But I would not want to see human dinosaur hybrids, running around with guns. Like, not at least it. I remember, as I said in that Jurassic Park Crazy video, I didn't want to see hybrids because of things like this. the chaos effect line, which I like them as toys, but or like in their own offshoot cartoon as they were planning, but like having them like that in the films I didn't like, but now I do. So like the idea of human dinosaur hybrids is something I think that could be done correctly, or like, well, interesting and smartly. But what we've seen so far from like the leaked concept art and stuff really doesn't help, like, because it doesn't look like how personally how I would like it to go down. It's nowhere near that. It's too overtly cartoonish and just completely undoes like the world building that Jurassic puts forth. So by that I mean, like, I didn't like hybrids, but like the Indominus Rex was done in such a way that I went, yes, like the hybrids can be done in such a way that is really smart and clever and really believable. And the same, so far from what we've seen, the same applies to like the Endoraptor, from what we've seen in the trailers. So there you go. That's my 2 cents on the whole human dinosaur hybrids aspect. Evo the Nerd, has anyone else noticed the plot hole? How the escaped pteranodons from the aviary in the east attacked the people flying over the innovation center from the northwest. I wouldn't say that's a plot hole because it's not really like a detail that affects the actual plot, but I mean, okay, so I want to talk about the pterosaurs. You've just got my mind going about that. So the pterosaurs, the first thing I noticed with the pterosaurs was, you know, when they kill Zara, right? When they like fall in, like pick her up and she falls into like the mosasaur tank and stuff. Now, I feel like a lot of people overlook the detail that the you know, that they dive underwater perfectly, like you see like ocean birds, like seagulls and stuff, like how some species of birds do that. Now, to me, their sleek like body designs and stuff exude that kind of fish hunting, like large fish hunting, coastal hunting behaviors. If you understand my meaning, like I get the feeling from those pteranodons specifically that they lived or would have lived on like the cliffs near an ocean. So like with the direction that they're flying towards the innovation center, I get the sense that they were flying. I've got the map up there actually. Yeah, so maybe they were flying, you know, escaping from, you know, from the smashed aviary, and they were flying to look for a source of food and a body of water. And to them, like, the closest was the near the innovation center, so they just changed direction and went that way. But that's my 2 cents on the old pteranodons, because I heard a lot of people like talk about how they act like monsters because they're like eating loads of people, and like I've never seen them as monsters. I've seen them as hungry fish, like piscivores that that suddenly see this huge body of like food that's just running around on the floor and a huge body of water, and they're like, oh wow, so like we could nest here because there's a perfect thing. That's the way I've like looked at it, because they they instantly start picking off loads of people. They're like they want to nest and live near the ocean, so they need to feed and they need to get energy up, and I feel like that you know, they hunt the humans that way. So like that's the way I've always looked at it. So the direction that they're flying to me has never really played into like, it's not really been a mistake in the movie, because I'm like, oh, they're going to like where most of the food is at that time, and at that time that was the you know, the near 20,000 people that are all hanging out on Main Street because the north of the park had been closed. You know, and something which Claire couldn't predict, and none of the people at the park could predict, that the Indominus was going to smash into the aviary. And it's also interesting because the you know, because we see them dive underwater, like if you look at their aviary, it's like this bubble in the middle, literally in the middle of like the island. It's like they can't have too much water in there, so like they're desperate. That's the way I've sort of read it, because you know, films are like an art, and you can interpret films in any way, shape or form. Everyone looks at movies differently, and for me that's like, I've always looked at the pteranodons ever since I saw it in the movie. That's how I've always interpreted it, as like, oh wow, so they were like desperate to get food and water because they'd been like trapped in this like bubble in the middle of the island for like years. Anyway, so there's my 2 cents on that. Where are we looking? Oh my word, I'm missing so much chat. Corvo says, what is Dino Defenders? It's a cartoon I'm working on. In my own personal time, whenever I get a chance, I'm making this cartoon series that's like inspired by everything that I love, like Alien and Jurassic Park clearly, and hopefully it will sort of fill that gap for Jurassic fans who were kind of excited for a Chaos Effect cartoon series. It's like sort of inspired by the fact that there was going to be a Chaos Effect cartoon series. And so yeah, I wanted to make something of my own that was should be fun, and it's hopefully going to break the mold of like dinosaur stories, because I'm like there's only so many ideas that you know, people say that has been done, and I thought of an idea and I'm like, I don't think I've ever actually seen that in like dinosaur related media, so hopefully it'll fill that gap too. So yeah, but it will be a while because I'm so busy. I've got so many different projects and I want to, you know, talk to you guys and do live streams like this and stuff, so it might be a while before we see episode 1 of that come out. But yeah, that's Dino Defenders. Clayton says, in my Jurassic Park 4 script, I had Ellie Sattler find a single half-human, half-dinosaur hybrid dead inside a big laboratory tube in the middle of sauna. That is what I'm talking about. That is, yeah, that's what I'd want to see. If they ever did that concept. If they can avoid it, all the better, but if they want to actually do that, then yeah, the best way is to do something like that, in my opinion. But yeah, Jurassic Park 6, dinosaurs in space, natural progression. British Tyrannosaur. That's funny because I didn't want to see dinosaurs taking over the world plot. It's just too unrealistic. How would they contain them all? It'd be a war movie with dinosaurs as the enemies. I don't think that. It's like if you were to drop like a dinosaur into an ecosystem that like it's like invasive species. You know, like a frog gets in like, I don't know, a fruit basket and travels halfway across the world and then gets out and starts breeding in another part of the world where it wasn't originally from. It can devastate entire ecosystems. So I don't think like it's about dinosaurs necessarily taking over the world, more so that like their impact on the environment and human life could be very significant just by being there. Why are they so hungry? Well, like talking about the pterosaurs, the book past. Like I think they're fed. You know, they would be fed, but like when they see freedom, they're like, okay, now it's because you got to think that birds are very or like birds are how I imagine like flying reptiles to act a lot. You know, like in similar behaviors to modern day birds, and you know, if I ever see like a budgie, which I used to have a budgie as a pet, but if I ever see like birds in cages, I'm like, yeah, I can see if you open that cage, they're gonna try and get out of there. If they haven't had their wings clipped, they're gonna get out of there really quickly. Like birds aren't meant. Birds, out of all of the animals, are probably the worst to have caged. Like because they're designed to actually live out in the open skies. You know, not and I wouldn't want to say just be free, but like they have a lot more open space than a lot of other animals. So like for me, the pteranodons in Jurassic World, like they're just doing something that I feel like that they would actually have done. Like it doesn't feel out of place for an animal to be like, right, we're free, let's go get some food, let's get set up for let's establish our new territories, and then they find a body of water because they want to fish. Because there's no big body of water like the lagoon inside the aviary, and as we clearly see in the film, they dive under the ocean. They're designed to be that slimline, like diving creature. Dino Defenders go. Yeah, Dino Defenders will be back after these messages. Yeah, that's the aim. Something like along those lines. Okay, so the forest is starting to look a lot more detailed. at this time. So I think it's nearly time to just add a dinosaur in. I'm just going to sharpen some of these. And then actually what I might do is just add a few more things down at the bottom of a plant life and that. I wonder what it would look like if I moved. No. Okay. Let's make a brand new layer. Oh no, actually wait, no, not a new layer. Which one's called the bush? This one. Let's just add some blue, some more blue to this image. Let's go to about 4. Yeah, like this. If dinosaurs were domesticated, what would you keep as a pet and why? Says Lamadeer. I would probably have something like a Leanthosaurus, something really harmless and small. You know, like people have tigers and lions as pets in real life, and like I don't want one of those. Like if all dinosaurs were domesticated, could you imagine owning a T-Rex? Like if you stepped out of line with that thing, one chomp and you're dead. So I'd want something small. Okay. Oh no, I don't want that. I want the smudge tool. There we go. Now. So I'm adding a little like bits of blue all over this to make it look like brighter down in this to the right of the image, and then gonna add like add like a bit more light here, and then add some more down in the bottom left. Brontosaurus bus. I prefer an isolated incident like Fallen Kingdom, says British Tyrannosaur. I wouldn't want to see Chaos in the City or something. We've had that. Yeah, I mean, again, like, it depends on how it's done. Like, and by that I mean, I really enjoyed, for one example, I really enjoyed the scene where the T-Rexes attacked the trailers in The Lost World. But one could argue that we've seen something like that before with the T-Rex attacking the tour cars in Jurassic Park. But the reason I think it's still looked at favourably that the T-Rexes attacked the trailers, and it goes for the same in my books, is because of the setup and how it gets to that point. So like if we were to have another scene where dinosaurs are running amok through a city, I think that could be done in a really interesting way, as long as it's different. It has a different setup to how we've seen Ludlow bring the bull T-Rex to San Diego. I don't think any of these ideas are like sterile or not sterile. Stale is the word I'm looking for, not sterile. Stale. It's just always the setup. Like, I mean, every Jurassic film so far has had a scene where a dinosaur attacks a vehicle of some description. Even the third one had the Spinosaurus attack the plane, and the Indominus attacks the gyrosphere in Jurassic World. So like, they've always done that kind of thing, but it's always a different setup to get to that point. So then like you have a sort of similar situation happen, and that's a mark of a lot of good sequels, is they do that. A pet compy like the Sega Game Gear Lost World game, says Clayton. See, a compy would be good, but like after reading the original Jurassic Park and reading about the kid, the baby getting its face eaten, like that put me off having a compy as a pet, as an idea. Okay, so what I'm now doing is I've got a yellow, and I'm gonna use it to highlight the sides of some of these plants. So then we've got like a direction of light. There we go. Oh no, actually, wait. I buggered that up. Okay, 1/2. Yep. I'll let me just mute my mic for a second, guys. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to go in like a few seconds because then I'm gonna have to go babysit. And don't forget to take Godzilla 1998. Ooh. Oh, do I take one of the older ones? Oh, I might. I don't know. Do I take King Kong versus Godzilla and see if he'll like that? Yeah, I'm just gonna add a few more bits of light down here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, just for the final bit of this live stream, is I'm going to flatten the entire image. Oh no, actually wait, with the forest one I just want to add a quick shadow. And then I'll catch up on the chat. And here we go. Right, this is what I wanted to do. Perfect. And then now just flatten everything. Okay, and then use this to darken a lot of this. Which might actually, oh no, don't want to darken the log like that. And then in the middle of this palm tree, just darken the middle of that like that. And then do the trees in the background. And I might just add in like hints at other trees here. Oh no, wait. Now I might just do a shadow one. Oh wow, that's really that's really dark. Maybe if I don't have the exposure up so much. There we go. Just so I can define these trees a lot more. Okay, now just use the brightness tool. I'm just going to highlight some areas that shafts of light will be hitting from the canopy above, and then I'll know where to okay. Alright, so guys, I think for the moment that is what I'm going to leave it as. I hope that is starting to look all right. Yeah, let me just catch up on some things in the chat. What are you guys saying? One thing I hate about Godzilla 1998 Evo the Nerd is there's how little screen time he has in the daytime and how there's only one good full body shot of him. Yeah, I mean the when he first arrives in New York, that's the best scene in the film. We'll have to wait and see, Jurassic fan, about Claire's responsibilities and stuff. Clayton says Jurassic World criticisms always fails because it never mentions the filmmaking or the subtext that the movie presents. Seldom arguments, a lot of just I just thought this was bad. Yeah, I mean, like the whole like Indominus T-Rex fight is like the way it's framed and the way the camera moves is just insane. Like as a huge setup. Like the camera there's a shot that goes from Claire on the floor and then spins around the dinosaurs fighting, and then goes back to Claire as the T-Rex gets thrown on the floor. And then and it's made up of like several different shots. It's really well put together, and I never hear too many people like whenever they're criticizing film, they like balance it with that. I mean, maybe I could go into things that I don't know. It's really hard to have criticisms when you love something so much. Like, like if I have criticisms of movies I like, it tends to be more of a jovial, joking sense. Like I take the mick out of Jurassic Park all the time, but that's because I like love it. You know, and character motives and stuff. It looks prehistoric. Anyway, yes, thanks guys for tuning in to this live stream. This is nowhere near done. I've still got to add in loads of little detail to the log, like little bits of wood scratching and define the trees in the background a little bit more because they're a little bit blurry, and add some more plant life before we even get on to adding the dinosaurs and the atmosphere and fog and all that sort of stuff. But at the moment, it's looking pretty good. And if I go to 100% size, yeah, the image is about this big, so I can really get in and do loads of detail. But yeah, I'll save this and then I'll come back and finish it in a later stream. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming to enjoy tonight's stream. It's been absolutely amazing talking to you guys, and I always really super appreciate it for people coming to this channel to watch me paint and listen to me rant on about Jurassic Park. So 2 thumbs up to you guys. Give yourselves a pat on the back. It's yeah, it makes me feel really really happy and wanted. So yeah, thank you so much, and I will catch you on the flip. So see you later, guys. Enjoy the weekend, and I don't know when our next live stream, but it will be probably next week. If you've got me on notifications set up, then you'll know when I'm live streaming. So anyway, guys, thank you very much, and get ready for the outro screen. See you later, guys. Bye.